Hello everyone. Today we'll talk regarding confrontation when it's necessary. Um, Confrontation basically means dealing with something or someone face to face whenever it's necessary. It might be anything, it may be yourself confronting with your own inner self. So, when it comes to the idea of confrontation, I had a very interesting story where I came across with the police. Initially I was very afraid to confront them, and then I collected my emotions. I gathered my emotions, and then I took a step and had a um, uh, face-to-face confrontation with the police. So the story goes like this: that there there was a very big um, exposure of job scam where people were buying jobs, and it somehow got leaked, and the whole students, the aspirants, were triggered. They came down on the road, they were protesting. Thousands of people, including mother, veterans, and other family members, they were on the road protesting against the government. And one day, um, our leader, we were in a field where we usually gathered. We were in one day, we were at that time, the leader had given the speech that from tomorrow we will be starting bun call, and each and everyone students have each and everyone student have to gathered at the same place before 7 a.m. And from there it was decided that the whole student will rally around the city and come back to the same place where we will be discussing about the various issues and solutions and the next steps. What are the necessary actions that needed to be taken. So whole agenda was to be discussed at that same place. And by evening, everyone was dispersed. We went our home, and next morning I heard that the district magistrate had declared um, section 144 of Indian Penal Code, according to which a person is not allowed to gather more than four or three. However, I knew the law, and I I thought, okay, no problem. I will go to the field alone. I, Moreover, I didn't have any friends, so I decided to go alone. Meanwhile, I came across with the police standing on the road. Not only police, there were CRPFs with the seal and the stick. It got me. It gave me a little chill initially. However, um, I saw three-person. Uh, I think they were transporting milk. Police let them pass through the gate, and I thought that okay, they're allowing. Then I will have. Then I moved. I moved closer to the police, where one of the officer asked me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to take a walk." But the officer said, "You're not allowed to go through it." Then I said, "Why? You just have allowed three-person to go through this road." And he said, "It was emergency case." And he said, "Why? What kind? But why? What is the reason that you are not allowing me to go through this road, why it's not. Then he referred to section 144, and I told him straight to the mouth that I know section 144 of Indian Penal Code, and I'm alone. You have to let me go through it. However, he disagreed and he was avoiding me. So what I did is I took out my phone. I started capturing video where I asked him, now tell me in front of the camera, why are you not allowing because this is a clear violation of my fundamental rights. And then he was ignoring me. He was another officer in charge was standing along with him, who was supporting him, and he was like, what law you have studied, that's why you are saying uh, such um, like constitutional or let's say advocate words. I say I haven't studied any law, but I know my rights. And then, well, I forgot to mention that before confronting them, I stayed there for about 5 to 10 minutes, thinking what to do, not to do, as I was a little bit scared. But after seeing those tall military guys and the police officers, and it was since it was my first ever experience, I stayed there for such minutes. And then finally I went to confront them. Anyway, I have to do it because this is a clear violation of my rights, I told myself. And then when I had a conversation uh, for few minutes, and then he excused me that I am following the order, I am doing what I was asked by my supervisor. Then I said, your supervisor is not above the law. And then he was like, no one is I was like, no one is above the law. And he said, I cannot do anything. And he said that for today took another route, but you're not allowed to go through this route. I said, I agree that you are not allowing me to go through, but tell me in the camera that you with your name, you're not allowing me to go through this pass because section 144 has been implemented in the area. He avoided it clearly. At the meanwhile, an SP came. SP came and he asked me to talk to the officer, and I said, officer, why I'm not being allowed to pass through this gate? I know section 144 has been implemented, I know my rights. Then he said that uh, I said let's have a discussion. Then he said, we don't have time to discuss. So the area has been sanitized and you're not allowed to go back to your room. And come tomorrow, you from tomorrow there uh, the curfew will be removed. So I had a little disagreement there, of course. And then he snatched my phone while I was recording. He saw me, and then he said, you're not allowed to go there, don't let him go. And he ignored me. However, um, could not I didn't protested. However, I protested, but I didn't shout it or didn't um, force myself to. I mean, didn't for try to cross forcefully across the road, because I knew if I do, I will be in the jail. It uh, let's be honest, I was scared a little bit, so I stand there, and later they came, the whole protester. They were standing in the gate. They were blocked by the police. I was on the other side. They were on the side. We waited, and the ambulance came, and now they were compelled to open the gate, and now the whole protester entered along with the ambulance, and whole gate was opened, and we completed our rally, and we had a very good um, meeting. And now what I learned from here is, if I stay there, or if I return back to my room, I would have regretted. I knew it. I knew that because I have my rights. I know my rights. Even I know my rights were violated, and I'm not defending. I'm not standing. I'm not facing the person who is violating my right. Then I will never be. I mean, I will never be able to face. So it felt great that I confronted them. And what more I could have done is, since when I was talking with them, they knew that I was a little nervous. My voice was shaking. It was evident in the way I was talking. So I think the officer caught me there, that this guy could be suppressed by the words. If I was more compelling, if I was more precise with my words, and uh, with uh, with the body language, they would have allowed me. So now what I think I could have done there is, I could have go to the officer, and I mean, politely I could have handshake, ask his name, and tell my name. I would have uh, tell him about the laws that we both know. You know the law, I know the law, right? And no one is above the law, not even the president of India is above the law. We all follow the law, and we all works our own jurisdiction. So it's, you don't have to, even your supervisors works under jurisdiction. You cannot dictate anyone. You cannot dictate anyone. Your superior cannot dictate anyone. They just give the ordered, because it is what is the law says. They don't act. They are not allowed to act on their will. They cannot, they are not allowed. I mean, the arbitrary action by the officer is a clear violation of the law, and he can be punished. It could damage the reputation. I should have warned him, like, if I'm capturing the video, if you are not following the rules or laws, since you are an officer, you know every law, and you work under the law, and now you are not following the law, and if the video gets viral, then it's obvious that it will hurt your reputation. And you know that building a reputation is one of the toughest job or toughest tasks a person does. It takes year to years to build a reputation, and second, to destroy the reputation. So I think you should be very careful regarding what you are attempting to do. That would have more better impact on the officer. However, I'm proud because I face the officer. I confront him, because many people were there behind me. They were silently standing. Some people went there. They requested. They were not allowed. They got back. However, I confront them. However, I went them. I talked with them. We had a disagreement. Where though we didn't have the exchange of harsh words, but at least we had a men talk, I would say. And we s- we stand for I stand for myself, and I believe everyone should. stand for themselves without fearing, without fearing the consequences. However, you should remember there are situations where confrontation is not the best option than avoiding the circumstances. You cannot come out with the bulging chest and say, I'm here to do this and this, what do you want to do? I'm here, face me, or you're ready to fight, all sorts of thing. I think fighting is not the best uh, option when we say or when we talk about the confrontation. Mm, it should be the least thing that you should do, as there is a high probability that in that process you are going to get hurt, and you may hurt the other person, but there's a high chance that you will lose something. And you have to be very careful, you have to be very smart. You should be very clear when to confront and when to avoid this, uh, again. And last, confrontation shouldn't be should not be related with the fighting, with the bare hand, fighting bare hand with the other person. It should more about exchanging the personal views, and making other people understand um, about uh, your your problem. Making other person to perceive from your point of view. Thank you.